What a real launch system actually looks like. Most founders launch backwards. They build the website first, create the offer, start posting on social media. They start building before they ever know if the idea actually works. Then they wait for customers who never come. And when nothing happens, they assume the problem is marketing. But it's not a marketing problem. It's a systems problem. And it's completely avoidable. Successful launches don't happen by accident. They follow a system. Today, I'm going to break down what that system actually looks like and why skipping parts of it is one of the most expensive mistakes a founder can make. The problem. Here's what most founders experience. You spend months building your business. You pour time, money, and energy into getting everything ready. Launch day arrives, and then silence. No clicks, no inquiries, no customers. That silence isn't just discouraging, it's expensive. Expensive in money, expensive in time, and expensive emotionally. The problem usually isn't that the idea was bad. The problem is that the launch didn't follow a system. Guessing is expensive. Building without a strategy is expensive. Skipping the foundational stages of a launch is expensive. The strongest launches do something different. Instead of building everything at once and hoping it works, they move through a series of deliberate stages that reduce risk, increase clarity, and protect the founder's time and money. That's what we call the Launchevity Launch System, a structured approach designed to remove guesswork from the launch process. Stage 1, Idea Clarity. The first stage is idea clarity. And this is where most founders skip ahead too fast. Before a single page is built or a single post is written, the founder has to answer two fundamental questions. Who is this for? And what problem does it actually solve? Not the problem you think it solves. The problem your customer is already losing sleep over. Without that clarity, every decision that follows becomes harder. Your website becomes confusing, your messaging becomes vague, and your marketing falls flat because you're speaking to everyone and reaching no one. Idea clarity isn't glamorous, but it is foundational. Get this right, and everything else becomes easier. The second stage is validation. This is where founders test the idea with real people before committing to a full build. And this stage saves founders more money than almost any other part of the process. Instead of building the entire business and then discovering no one wants it, validation lets you measure real interest first. Are people clicking? Are they curious about the offer? Are they responding to the message? That early signal tells you whether the idea deserves a larger investment. Think of it this way. Would you rather spend 3 months building something and then discover it doesn't resonate? Or spend 2 weeks testing, confirm there's genuine demand, and then build with confidence? Validation isn't doubt, it's smart strategy. The third stage is positioning. This is where your offer becomes clear and differentiated in the market. Positioning answers a deceptively simple question. Why this solution instead of another one? Why you? Why now? Why should this customer choose your offer over everything else available to them? Here's a real example. 2 business coaches both offer one-on-one strategy sessions. Same price, same time commitment. One says, I help entrepreneurs grow their business. The other says, I help service-based founders land their first 3 corporate clients in 90 days. Same service, completely different positioning. The second coach doesn't have to compete on price because she's the obvious choice for a very specific person with a very specific goal. That's what positioning does. Without a clear answer to that question, even brilliant ideas struggle to get attention because the market isn't short on options, it's short on clarity. When your positioning is sharp, your ideal customer immediately feels like you're speaking directly to them. That recognition is what turns a casual visitor into a real lead. The fourth stage is launch architecture. This is where the actual build begins. But now it's built around strategy instead of guesswork. This includes your website structure, your messaging hierarchy, and the journey that moves a visitor from curiosity to action. Think of it like a well-designed office space. A bad layout makes visitors wander. They're not sure where to go. They feel confused. They leave. A well-designed space tells a story with the room. You walk in and immediately know, reception is here, the meeting room is there, and the next step is obvious. Your website works the same way. At this stage, the website isn't just informational. It's designed as a system that guides the right visitor toward the next step. Every headline, every section, every call to action, all placed deliberately to move the right person forward. That's the difference between a website that simply looks good and a website that actually converts. Launch architecture is where strategy becomes structure. The fifth stage is marketing activation. This is where the launch becomes visible. Content begins reaching the market. Traffic starts flowing to the offer. And conversations begin with potential customers. But here's what makes this stage different. Activation doesn't happen blindly. It happens with a clear message, a positioned offer, and a website built to convert. Think about the difference between a flyer stapled to a telephone pole and a handwritten note slipped under the door of someone who already told you they need exactly what you're offering. One is noise. The other is a conversation. That's the difference between random posting and strategic activation. That means every piece of content has a job to do. Every post, every video, every email, working together as part of the system, not posting and hoping. Activating with purpose. The sixth and final stage is growth and optimization. Once the launch system begins working, the focus shifts from building to improving. Instead of guessing what works, you refine what already shows results. You look at what's converting and do more of it. You identify what's underperforming and improve it. This is the stage many founders never reach because they burned out in the earlier stages trying to do everything at once. A structured launch system is designed to get you here without the burnout, the wasted money, or the guesswork. This is the difference between building randomly and launching strategically. The most successful founders don't rush to build everything at once. They move through a structured process that protects their time, their money, and their energy. And here's the thing. Every stage we just walked through only works because the one before it was done right. Skipping positioning means your launch architecture has nothing solid to build on. Skipping validation means your positioning is based on assumptions instead of real people. The whole system is connected. That's why founders who reach growth and optimization aren't luckier than the ones who burned out. They just protected the foundation. Because a business launch isn't just about building something. It's about building the right thing, for the right person, in the right order. And the difference between struggling launches and successful ones usually isn't luck. It's the system behind them. In the next video, I'll walk you through the exact process we use with founders at Launchevity, step by step from idea to launch. How ideas are tested, validated, and built with far less risk. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if this resonated, drop a comment below and tell me, which stage of the launch system do you think most founders skip? I read every comment. See you in the next one.